All right, welcome back, everybody. Welcome to another version of the Swag Dirtbag Show. And we have two special guests with us. We have Jim Nemeth, who seems to just always be on the show. He is actually going to be a part of the crew. Just make him a part of the crew. And then, of
Honorary
course,
dirtbag.
we have the Hall of Famer Sean Rash in the building. Sean, how's it going?
Going well, guys. Thanks for putting this together. I'm looking forward to chopping it up with y'all for a little bit.
Absolutely. Well, since you are the man of the hour, you have a special.
Anything new happened this week?
Yeah. You want to tell us about anything?
I mean, it's the weekend. I mean, the week was pretty cool. We dropped the bomb on the industry Thursday. Pretty secretive until Thursday at the trade show at Delora. I mean, a lot of people, even on our team, didn't even know about it. So, just really, really excited with the opportunity, number one, but to partner with Swag and collab on making my first bowling ball ever, the Virtue.
Speaking of it being your first bowling ball ever, I mean, you've been with various companies and everything with that. What came about to finally have this, be available? Obviously, there's very few people that have their own bowling ball. So how did this come about, with Swag, since, you've been known with other companies and very nationally ranked with those. So how did this just come together?
Yeah, just ask the question, right? I've been throwing their equipment for a couple years now, outside of the PBA tour, of course. I'm forever grateful for the years that I spent at the two other companies I was with, and both of those companies told me at some point I would make one. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. It's not an easy sell. Number one, right? Like putting your name on a ball. It's been done probably a dozen times by other athletes in our sport. I can think of Parker and Walter and Belmo and EJ and Albee. I'm sure there's a few other, Dick Weber, and there's plenty more guys that probably should have their own signature ball at some point, right?
Right.
So I'm just forever grateful that this collab and opportunity came about. A startup company always needs, and they're not even really a startup company, but a company that's trying to get their foot in the door more in the U.S. market. They need some help sometimes, right? And every company's brand will always be bigger than the bowler, right? I'm going to come and go. There's going to be other couple players that come and go, and just to be able to help them kind of push their product here in the United States and around the world, it's awesome. It's humbling. It's a great experience. It's an opportunity not many players get, and this is my third time being able to help a company kind of strive for greatness, right? Strive to be one of the best in the industry. And, the two companies I worked for, I feel like I did a really good job of, they say moving the needle. And, when you have a player, whether it's my age or younger, that has a little bit of a resume and brings a little bit of credibility to their brand, helps them. And, like I said, I'm excited.
Nice. Yeah, when you dropped it on Thursday, I remember waking up and opening Facebook and like, oh wow. Like it was just like one of those things like, oh, because like you said, none of us knew about it. This was kind of a well kept secret. So I opened up Facebook, I'm like, wait, what? And so I was like, okay, he dropped a new ball. So in the process, like what was your thought process in one, putting your name on it, two, the naming convention of what you name, not let you tell what the name is, even though they can probably see it above my head. And then three, you got core design, you got, additives and all those things like that. How tedious was that process?
Yeah, it's pretty simple, right? The balls that I've been throwing over the last 2 years, you want to find something that matches up to you. The number one goal when talking to Swag, to Cliff, to a few other people that knew about it was building the ball for the bowler, not building the ball for the 1%, the professional bowler or the beginner bowler, right? Building it for the consumer that's going to want to use it every day, that you can throw it on just about every pattern. Is it meant for a heavy pattern? Probably not. Is it meant for a light volume pattern? Probably not. Could you use it? Absolutely, because every bowling ball you can make usable to a certain degree, right?
Right.
Watching balls be sanded now on tour on short patterns makes no sense. That I would have done it a different way, but it's how how the industry is playing the game right now. So it's not going to be one of those balls either that is extremely expensive. I didn't want that consumer that's the everyday bowler wanting to spend a bunch of money on a bowling ball that it just didn't make sense to, right? Like I want them to be able to afford it, number one, be able to use it, number two, and number three, enjoy using it. And I'm not gonna be the guy to go out there and say, hey, please go buy my ball either. Like they're gonna know if it's good or not based off not just me throwing it, but we have some people in the industry throwing it, right? Charles Hutcherson was one of the first guys I sent it to. I trust his reviews. Is Charles a unbelievable bowler? No, not at all. Is he a great bowler? Like tour accessible? Probably not. He's even told me that. But he's a guy that relates to the everyday bowler. And it's a guy that I trust. I mean, I watch him throw all of the bowling balls that he throws. I mean, I've talked to him about layouts on Brunswick balls, on Storm balls, on Motive balls, on Swag balls. And we have a great relationship, not just about bowling, but just, things too. So being able to have a relationship and trusting someone to promote your product has helped me. And just in the beginning of this stage, right, we're 3 or 4 days in now of the industry knowing about it. And of course, I've already had probably a dozen people reach out saying, hey, can I get one and test it and review it for you? And I'm like, let's slow down a minute. Like, I don't know how fast I want to run, right? Like I want it to be one of those, as we move forward, being able to answer the questions that people want to know, right? Like I'll tell you right now, I know the RG and the differential. I have not seen a picture of the core. Guess that it's very, very close to Craze Tour Solid because that was the ball that is kind of matched up to me over the last year and a half out of all the swag balls, how I throw it, my rev rate, my ball speed. That ball just matched up on everything I threw. And so are the RGs close? I'm pretty sure they're the same. Are the diffs a little bit different? And I'm sure the factory finish makes a huge difference as well, how the solid came out and how this ball came out. So, but yeah, here we are, and we're moving forward.
All right, so take us through it. They make it. Obviously, you were in, because I saw you were in Hong Kong. Was it Hong Kong or South Korea a couple weeks back? So they hand it to you, and you see it. Take us through that process.
Yeah, so actually, I've had the ball since May. We did some testing through April, May, June of like the communication of what we wanted, what do we wanted to see. How many balls they make is a different amount compared to the other industry partners, right? Like, so it's a process, right? It's not like, hey, go make me a ball right now and get it done. It's like, hey, we gotta figure out what's going on. They have a schedule too, right? Like they're doing me a favor more than me doing a favor for them, right? Like they're making a run of bowling balls that not only do I hope successful, right, but that they're hoping successful, right? So I'm hoping to sell 500 of them, 1,000 of them. And I've already been told that I'm way low on my projection, and I'm grateful to hear that. But again, like I have no expectations, right? Like it was one of those, it's a dream come true. I've kind of teased it over the last few minutes or months about dreams coming true and things coming for fruition. And, just like I said, it's here. It's sitting here right next to me.
Yeah. Why don't you let us take a look at that beauty? Go ahead and show it
to she black and gold, kind of like what I'm wearing.
Okay.
So, my Joe Post sleeve, but my face doesn't look so ugly on it, I guess. But it's got the serial number on it too, so I can throw it. Number 3. This was the third one they ever made with the logo. USVC approved, got approved July 28th.
Okay.
And the hot topic right now is, hey, will it be in the United States? Yes, it will be in the United States.
Yes, that's a question that I got too. Yeah.
Yeah, no, man, it's got to take time, right? Like you drop the ball, telling everybody about it, but then you got to go, all right, what's our order number? How many balls can we make? How long does it take to make that many balls? Is the people in the United States, the distributors, Ace and Classic and everybody else, gonna want to order it? Like, I don't know. Like, am I friends with those people? Yeah, I have friends that work for all these companies within the United States, but they have to talk to Bowler Smart and say, hey, what do we think? Or what's our projections like? Just like you have seen over the last couple players, balls, and everything else.
Nice.
So real quick, because I know you've tested the Insanity series, and I know you have Virtue, and so if how would you kind of relate those two motions? Because you are being able to see some differences between the Craze, the Insanities, and also Virtue. How does that kind of all lay out? Because they're kind of similar, but I would imagine the tires are what's making it different, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question, Jim. I would say between the two Insanities that came out, it fits right in the middle of them. Right. I feel like the Pearl is pretty weak. I feel like the Hybrid's got some teeth to it and can motor. On the Tours, the Craze series, I wanted it to be stronger than the Craze Tour solids. So it was one of those like needs to be a little bit different, whether it was the RG or the diff or the core or the cover, whatever those combos are. And I am no scientist. Like I have no idea about those things. Put three holes in it, drill it a certain way. I'm going to go throw it. I'm going to tell you if I like it or not.
Okay.
And, I drilled it very similar to the Craze Tour solid. Like I said, kind of the ball that I liked the most and liked the shape. And I was like, hey, I think we got a home run. So after we did the testing of the first couple, we got it approved. I got this one, drilled it the same way. And they roll identical. You wouldn't even know which one's USBC approved or the test ball.
Oh, nice. So now the big question is, obviously you bowl around here locally and me and you are actually in the same state. How has it performed? Like, have you thrown it in the summer league and a couple of local tournaments?
No, not at all, man. So, with it just being released July 28th, I'm going to take it to Korea. I'm bowling the Samho Cup here in a few weeks. I'm leaving next Sunday for Sweden. They're actually saying I may be able to throw it in Sweden because the rules in the Lucky Larson allows any USBC ball approved.
Okay.
So we're waiting on confirmation. I'm not going to confirm that I can throw it, but we're hopeful that we can. If not, no big deal. But, it'd be kind of cool to throw it in Sweden. I've got people in Sweden and South Africa already, though, asking to buy it, around the world. How do we get into the shops? Who do we call? Right now, reach out to Swag in Korea. Like, send them an email, tell them how many you want. But regardless, it'll be going down for competition score in Korea at the Samho Cup, September, I think it's 4th to the 7th, 4th to the 8th, something like that. I'll be representing Swag over there, throwing their equipment for that week. And then, the league season and, some other things start up, and I'll be throwing it in the league. And, it's not going to be the first ball out of the bag, but it is a benchmark type bowling ball, right? It's one of those that will tell you if you need a stronger ball or a weaker ball. And, going back to, like I said, it's meant for the average bowler for what we bowl in league and, house patterns and house tournaments, it'll match up. I don't have the rev rate like I used to for multiple reasons. Father time catches up, injuries, everything else. But, when you have forgiveness to the right, you can make almost any ball look good. And I know when I have forgiveness to the right, I can make any ball look good. So I'll be able to make my own ball look good.
Put some honor scores up with it.
Well, and so you hit on something. So you're going to Samho Cup. Obviously, that's Korea. Okay, so you're taking 2 bags, 3 bags, and what's in the other spots in the bag? Because I know you got the Virtue set up.
Because of the travel, they're gonna have some balls drilled for me over there.
Okay.
I'm gonna take. I have. I'm pretty sure I got to take the Dragon Hybrid, the new one that just came out. The ball rolls really, really good. Flares a lot. Good for a lot of oil. And I'll have to make a decision on the third one. I think the Insanity Hybrid is kind of a step in between my ball and the Hybrid for the Dragon. So I could take that, the Insanity, and mine. I'm not a big fan of taking balls that are too weak. I'd rather take stronger balls and shine them up. If you take too weak of balls, trying to put surface on them, they just don't do the right thing. Korea is also very well known of using a lot of oil and playing 10 and jamming it up against the oil line for the fresh, and then you have a burn squad. So it's one of those. I'd rather be able to get off to a good start on the fresh, and then hopefully I have the fresh because they have fresh and burn and fresh, and it's one of those. I'll be able to drill if I need to, right? Like Swag's only a couple miles down the road.
I was saying,
Yeah,
you
they're
got a
right
factory
there.
at your
So,
disposal.
which I got to visit in July and talk about an amazing facility. You know, a lot different than the old Brunswick one that I've been able to see, and the one in Storm that I was able to see. Way different facility, and hopefully they just continue to grow.
Nice. Let's talk about that again, because you talked about the Craze Tour Solid as one of the balls that you matched up with, and then you have this one. But now, obviously, this is getting released overseas first, and obviously, different continent, different metrics, and different climate. Everything goes a little bit different. So when you're talking about these bowling balls, how do you project it going over there, or is there a certain way that when you actually go out there and bowl that tournament first, you'll kind of get a read of how they do in the States? Because like you said, they use a lot of more oil there. Will that give you your projection of what happens here in the States, or if there might be some tweaks that need to happen to covers, or that you could suggest over there?
I mean, great question, but I have a pretty good following in Japan, Korea, Asia in general. I've been going over there for 20 years, whether it's doing clinics for the military or bowling the Samho Cup or other tournaments in Japan. Having a lot of success a few years back in my career, traveling over there and, being successful, making TV shows and pro-ams and whatnot. The bowlers will tell me if the ball's good, right? There's plenty of people already testing them in their kind of realm of players. I'm sure Jake and I'll have a couple conversations this week, who works at Swag, one of the owners, so to say. But, it's a wait and see kind of thing, right? We're hopeful to have them here in the next couple of weeks and, start selling them in October again, with just the surprise announcement. Ace and Classic and all the other distributors had no idea to make an order, right? Like, it's one of those in the past with the other balls or other companies, they're like, oh, we'll order this many, and then it drops in a few weeks. Like, we dropped it on everybody at one time. I can name less than 5 people that knew about it, only for the fact that we wanted it to be a surprise. We wanted it to be special. I didn't want to have people telling me, oh, you shouldn't have one, or this is unbelievable. So far, just watching social media, which I love to do, which I shouldn't do, the reactions have been pretty positive. A lot of comments that are like, this is awesome, should have been done a long time ago with the other companies you worked for. I'm very fortunate to have done a lot of things in our industry and our sport, good and bad, right? You win a lot, you lose a lot more. So, but just something different. And, like I said, I'm extremely excited about this opportunity.
So, is this a solid hybrid pearl? What we got here?
Yeah, no, man, this is solid. It's all black. It's all solid. Black solid bowling balls have always rolled good. I mean, there's just nothing. I can't name one that I haven't thrown that hasn't been good. My first 300 was with the Danger Zone. I won the Tournament of Champions with the Versamax. You think of other companies that have made black balls through the years. They've had so much success with them. So I wanted it to be black. Of course, the yellow being my signature color with, the Wichita State colors. I'm not where I am today without Gordon Vatican and Mark Lewis and the players I bowled with and the tournaments I bowled, the things I learned. So you got to give credit to a lot of people that made this possible, that are in the, behind the scenes, guys at Bowlers Mart, guys at Swag, my family, of course. I didn't tell my mom and dad until about a week ago. Like, the 2 closest people to me that have done so much for me. It wasn't that I didn't think they would tell anybody. It was just like, we didn't know if it would go through, right? Like, when you send the ball in, you don't know if they're going to say yes or no.
Okay, nice. That's what I do have a question, because we're going to go back to the color scheme a little bit. You Wichita guys, you guys love your black and gold. I noticed Ryan wears his black and gold. So what's with the black and gold at Wichita? I mean, it's like a badge of honor when you guys leave there to wear it on everything. Packy, I think, wears his too. So
yeah, I think I've been the most prominent of the players that I can think of through the years wearing it as a signature color. And I definitely wasn't the first, but yes. My little girl wants a brownie. Sorry. Yes, I'll do it a little bit. Okay? But no, you don't want to be. Oh, she wants to say hi. All right, go. Earn her little laugh. But again, I wasn't the first from Wichita. I wouldn't be the last either. And there's going to be other people that do it too. The one thing I haven't done that I've wanted to do is wear yellow pants, and I just can't pull it off. So it ain't happening. But yeah, just I feel like it's it's just you feel honored to have competed at a place that they shape your kind of life, right? College is about learning in life. I finally was on my own and figuring out what the real world was going to be like, and I learned a lot of good, a lot of bad, and what to do and what not to do. And some good times back then for sure.
Absolutely. So did they reach out to you once they saw it? Did you get kind of some calls from them?
Oh, no. I've had a lot of people reach out. There's a few that I thought would reach out that didn't. No big deal. There's a few that reached out that I never thought I'd hear of or hear from, which is pretty cool. But, I think some of the players are jealous, right? There's some players that were like, man, I wish I had one. And I've always wanted my own ball, right? Ever since when I started at Brunswick, and in the early 2000s when we were bowling in college, the Albee, Parker, and Walter ball we threw in college.
Okay.
The MVP
2000 2004. Yeah, they did a little MVP series. Johnny Petraglia had some balls.
Yep.
I'm just, like I said, humbled, grateful, excited. It's something new, and I'm excited for what it may come out of it.
But you did get the longest tenure on a box. I'm just putting that out there to the ether in the space.
Yeah, I mean, the use of like image and whatnot had definitely expired, and oh well.
So now you got the solid, you got that. Now, if it's successful, you're going to have to come out with a Pearl hybrid version of it. And you already got your colors out. What are you going to do with those? You're going to have to do some funky with those.
I definitely won't do a yellow ball. I won't do yellow with black lettering. I mean, maybe we will. Who knows? Listen, I'm not officially sponsored by Swag. A lot of people think I am. It doesn't make sense for me to be sponsored by them. It doesn't make sense for them to sponsor me. It doesn't make sense for them to go on the PBA tour either. A lot of people are like, oh, you can't even throw your own ball on the PBA tour. We don't bowl much of a tour. We bowl 12 weeks. Unfortunately, times are tough right now on the PBA tour, and hopefully it's in the upright direction. But there's 52 weeks a year to bowl, and I travel around the world. I'm almost 44 years old. I'm not in my prime anymore, right? Like, I'm not the best bowler in the world or the other ones. So I'm still relevant in the fact that I do a lot of coaching clinics for our military and around the country. Relevant in the fact of trying to grow the game with a bunch of other players from multiple brands. Because when I go to my events, I don't promote a certain product. It's never been my intention. Whether I wore Brunswick or Storm or Swag at them, my intention at those events is to sell bowling. And if you do a good job, like if Marshall Kent did a really good job with you, giving you some pointers and you've really connected with them, I'm hopeful that the next time you go into a pro shop, you buy
his balls,
hammer bowl ball, or one of the balls from the Brunswick brands. And it's the same thing with the Storm team and the Motive family. If UJ does a good job, support Motive. And at the end of the day, if you're going to buy a bowling ball, you should be asking your pro shop operator what ball you're supposed to be getting. Like, what matches up for your rev rate? What matches up for your ball speed? What kind of shape do you want? What kind of core and RG and diff and all that other stuff? And I never once, I was talking with Smallwood at the trade show, no player ever comes up to me or person and says, hey, what's this going to do for me because of the RG and differential and the core and the layout? I don't know. Like, I'm not laying it out. Like, I put 3 holes in it and I throw it. And I'm going to tell you in about 3 shots if it's worth throwing anymore.
Okay.
The one thing I had a guy at the show ask me the other day, like, hey, what's the greatest swag ball right now? And I'm like, well, this one's pretty good. This one's not. This one's okay. This one could fit in here. He goes, why would you say that in front of the swag distributor people? And I'm like, I'm just being honest with you.
Right, correct.
We're okay with that honesty, actually.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, Swag, Motive, Brunswick, and Storm all make great products, right? They have a ton of people working their tails off trying to make the best product possible for the consumer and their customer. They also make balls you have to have, that benchmark ball, the ball that I wanted to make. You think of all the greats through the years. There's a reason why they make them. And then the other one was the ball that you don't need to have.
More niche.
You don't need to have it.
Yeah. I think. Go ahead, Jim.
Well, I was going to say, I think you've hit on a couple of things that's refreshing. One, you said, "Hey, this isn't a cash grab. This is let's make a ball that makes sense." I think that's huge. I think that's also one of those things where, with Swag, speaking, as part of doing the social media team with Swag, it was refreshing. And the simple fact is we're just simply trying to put out a good product. If you have 6 spots in the bag, give us 1, maybe give us 2. The fact that we're able to kind of do these things with you as just a simple partnership of just, hey, we want to do something for you. We want to do something for the bowlers. Let's just simply figure it out. Let's make it make sense, and let's just move it from there, because that's what we've been doing for the last 2 years, is just simply just trying to make sense every step of the way and just not overthink the whole entire process.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I was talking to somebody the other day about this new PBA elite stuff, right, that's coming out. And, the sport needs some changing, right? The guard is different. Not every bowler should be able to bowl every regional, right? Like, it shouldn't be a glorified pro-am every time we show up. And I feel bad for the guys that are weekend warriors, but at the same time, like, do you really feel like you're getting much out of it? Like, I don't bowl regionals for the fact that it doesn't make any sense to go drive 6 hours, spend 2 nights away from my family when I'm already gone 200 days a year, bowling for $1,500, even though I bowl for a living, right? Mm-hmm. I'd rather coach and make money a different way and let those guys, here I am kind of hypocritical, but let those other guys learn how to get their feet wet. But let the people get their feet wet that want to actually pursue themselves to the next level, right? Like the PBA tour. So there will be regular regionals for the weekend warriors. Then there's going to be regionals for the elite that maybe want to get their feet wet and try it for a year. I want to think of guys like D-Ron Booker, who I hope he's doing well with all of what he's battling. But the guy won the Masters and was like, I don't need to bowl on tour. I have a great job. Gary Haynes, same way, won the Masters. I don't need to bowl on tour. But they tried it because they had the opportunity now, right? Now they can, if they want to dip in and come out here and there, they can bowl the TSC, right, for the lifetime. But it wasn't their thing. And so when I first started, you had to win your region, regional or whatever it was, the 7 regions. It would get you a spot into the tour. Those were the guys that traveled. Those were the elite regional tours, right? You were getting a spot. So it wasn't just weekend warriors. The guys that were chasing it were trying to get on tour. And so I'm really excited about the opportunity that this has created. The tour is going to start February, is the rumor again.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to bowl for 6 months throwing any ball I want. Swag, Brunswick, Storm, Motive, I can throw whatever I want. Would I love to have a contract? Absolutely. Has it hurt me financially not having one? Absolutely. But it's given me some different opportunities too to branch out and do some different things like this and create different relationships with different players that I typically wouldn't have. Maybe one day in the future I'll have another contract with another company, but that's not my goal right now. My goal is to continue to grow bowling, continue to help every brand be successful that I represent. And then if I can help other players be successful as well and make more money within their own companies and their brands and everything, great. But we need more help along the entire industry.
Let's talk about that, because you said something that was really crazy, and I think it kind of correlates to what you're doing with the virtue, right? Saying you're going out and you're doing these clinics, and this is kind of be a 2-part question. So you wanted to make a ball for the everyday bowler. How did what you see and what you're teaching, because obviously the game is different from when I just turned 45 last week. The game has changed from when I was a little kid to now what it is today. So when you're out there teaching, whether whether it's kids or whether it's adults that want to take the training from you. How did that help shape that ball that you're creating? And where you said you wanted to do it for the everyday bowler, how did you take what you saw out there and the things that people were doing? And a lot of people complain bowling balls hook too much, they do this, blah, blah, blah. How did you take that and say, okay, this is what the everyday person needs?
Well, the first thing is I don't think our bowling ball prices are high enough.
Okay.
I mean, the ball that I bought in the late 90s, that was the most aggressive ball, was $199.
Quantum.
Yeah, well, Quantums, Turbo X's, a couple others, El Ninos, right? Now it's $229, $239. So was it cheaper to make the ball back then? Probably, right? Products was definitely cheaper. Your margins are different. So I feel like the margin prices are different. I feel like two companies in our industry have missed a big opportunity to make money off of two balls that are, I guess, illegal but legal now, right?
Purple Hammer.
Yeah. And yeah, right. Like, why do they cost $200? If everybody wants one, make them $400 or $500. I mean, if you really need it, you're going to spend the money to get it, right? It's like a golf driver. You want the best driver, you're going to go buy it.
Right.
And, that ball shouldn't be the same price, in my opinion, as the high performance bowling ball. Why would you buy this ball that's only used for so many things, and then you buy this one it's just me, right? I didn't go to school for marketing, but it just doesn't make sense to me. So, because it does cost more to make the urethane balls, from what I've been told from multiple people within our industry. So, again, creating mine was the fact that I didn't want somebody to go spend a bunch of money, right? Like, They didn't need to go spend $300 on a ball or $200 on a ball. Whatever money you got, if you want to go spend it on a ball that's going to be good for just about anything, here you go. Here's a ball for you. So, again, it's, I don't make the price points either. I just help them give them my ideas, and everybody else that's involved at Swag and Bowler Smart are going to be the ones dictating the prices of the ball.
Well, what's interesting is that the international market, let's talk international market first, for example. The international market it's very interesting because, and Sean, I think correct me if I'm wrong, it's the distributors that actually dictate the core, the color, and the nameplate over on the international side of things, right? Versus the actual manufacturers. That's what I've heard before.
Yeah, I would have no idea. Like I said, I did this with Jake from Swag, a little information with a couple guys at Bowler Smart, and everything else. So, end of the day, they make all the decisions, and I go with the flow. I give them my input, and hopefully it works.
Well, we already know who your first customer is going to be. The person who is always with you when you're taking your videos on Instagram.
Man, if I had 100 of them on me right now, they'd be sold. Like, that's how many people I've had reach out. How much? When is it available? How can I get them? And I'm like, send a message to Swag. I'm sure Ace and Classic will be calling Bowler Smart or Swag on Monday. Like, hey, what's this ball? I was talking to somebody from Ace. It's not in the, it's not even in their queue yet, right? So, I'm sure it will be this week. Again, from what I've been told, the balls are being made, and they'll be hopefully here by the end of the month, so we can start, sending them out to distributors in September and being relatively available in October. So, when I come home from Korea, I plan on bringing as many as home as I can. Because I'm allowed so many balls and traveling, so I can use them for my clinics. I can use them as giveaways, whatever the case is. I mean, I've got a clinic in Pennsylvania. I've got one in Virginia the month after. They asked me to bring it. I've got one in October. They said, hey, we need a dozen of them. And, again, I'm not trying to just push my ball and Swag when I go to these events, but they'll be available, right? Like, those are my events. I can be able to sell my stuff. But at the same time, EJ works a lot of my events, Danielle, Stephanie, all these people, we sell our merchandise. And if they had a ball or whatnot and they wanted to bring it with them, if they wanted to sell it, it wouldn't hurt my feelings, because we're all trying to make money. We're all trying to grow the game. We're all trying to live life and have a good time. So again, I'm just shocked by the reaction in the industry so far. I'm sure there's plenty of negativity, but I haven't seen it yet. I've seen a couple, people say, hey, way more people deserving. I don't know.
I saw a couple of those comments.
But,
yeah.
I'm 20th on the all-time list of wins. Out of those 20 people, 10 of them have a ball. So there's only 10 other guys ahead of me that don't have a ball that I can think of.
Okay. All right.
Never had a ball. I don't think I did. I'm trying to think of who else might be ahead of me in titles. Out loud, I just can't think of it. Right. So, the people that are behind me, they're getting ready to create and whatnot. I wish him the best. I hope Simonson gets the ball one day. I hope Troop should have had a ball 5 years ago, in my opinion. Simonson too. There's probably some women that probably deserved a ball. Shannon dominated for a while. Liz Johnson, Carolyn Doran Ballard. There's
absolutely
there's plenty of individuals in our sport that probably should have a ball, but again, it's not in my opinion, it's not really a good marketing thing for a company. I'm grateful that Swag said, hey, let's do it. But I won't share this story from the one company, but he basically told the player, I wish we wouldn't have put your logo on it because we would have sold more of them. It's a relatively good player too. So, but when you have the hate-love relationship on every player, when you get to the top, you lose some ball sales because of it. Is there going to be people that won't buy my ball because of me? Absolutely. I get it.
Okay.
No problem.
I was actually going to say that when are we going to see the logo on the jersey, and probably at Parkside, right? Because, it's your home center.
Well, we got the logo here, right? I got my jersey. I'll wear this at the event in Sam Ho. We're going to I've already worked with Nick at Bowlers Martin Coolwick to create some Virtue T-shirts and whatnot. And, we've got some ideas on the first person to shoot an actual honor score. Maybe there'll be a cool little prize. Not just a unsanctioned league, but a sanctioned league. We're working on a couple other giveaways. We're going to work on a special thing in October. I'm going to drop something late September for the month of October for breast cancer awareness. And I'm going to be partnering with all my partners, but something really special with Bowlers Martin Coolwick. So really excited about that.
Do we have any idea on the next JoPo event?
Great question. We've been trying to work on it a little bit. My schedule, I'm gone every weekend the rest of the year.
Wow.
Just crazy. I'm home for Halloween, only for the fact that my kids love Halloween. It's kind of fun for me to watch my kids, go to door. Boardwalk was a huge success. The first one was even bigger, or just as good, I should say. It wasn't bigger because the second one was bigger, but we're thinking it might be at EJ's place. It could be in Vegas. When we announced the second one, we had 5 or 6 bowling centers reach out, offering a host fee. And that's kind of the thing, right? Like, hey, who wants us? And JoPo is growing significantly. Their market share is out of control right now. They're doing so well with all the things that are going on. They have the number 1 slug and interchangeable thumb in the industry right now.
I just converted.
Yeah,
I just converted over to JoPo.
Amazing. I haven't changed a single grip. I haven't ripped all year long. I just don't need to. Jerry and his family are great people, and their team's growing too, right? They're a small family business, but at the same time, their family is growing in the aspect of pros, right? So there's more pros on the national tour. There's pros on the women's tour now, and it'll be interesting to kind of see the concept of, the JoPo challenge was my baby, and to try to help, again, grow a company that was trying to jump in the industry. And I think we did a really good job with the first and second one, and I would love to do another one. Again, I think it'll be at EJ's place. Is kind of where I would like to lean towards, for the fact that it's centrally located. We have a guy that has a great bowling center, and takes care of his customers, understands bowling. But yeah, 2027, I would guess, is when the JoPo 3 event will happen. It just really kind of depends on when our schedule comes out. Hopefully somebody knows soon, but who knows?
Now, is that considered home turf advantage if it's at EJ's place? Is that home turf advantage if that's at EJ's place?
Yeah, it'll be there's two ways to do the next event in my mind. It's either doing a trio event or a team event.
Okay.
Excuse me. So, we did the singles event against each other. We did the doubles event, him and his brother versus Justin and I. And, we're 1-1 in, I guess, on how you look at it. But if we did a trios event, it would probably be him, his brother, and someone else. And then it would be me and whoever the other two are. I really want to lean towards a team challenge type event.
I like that. Good idea.
Yeah, where we can give multiple balls away, right? Everybody that's on JoPo staff, or all the people that represent JoPo are on either Storm, Brunswick, or Moto staff. I'm sure I could give some swag balls away, or buy some and give them away. The team challenge, there's been rumors that team challenges were going to pop back up. Haven't seen them yet, but the prices have been kind of the tough thing. People are trying to figure out what makes sense. How much do you want to risk reward for a couple days away? EJ's got some really good connections there in Fort Wayne and Bluffton where he lives, and doing like a barbecue, drinks, whatever the case is. But my biggest thing was, it's kind of like my clinics and whatnot, is I want to make them events, right? Like I want them to bring people out and enjoy themselves. Yeah, when you go to a football game or even a baseball game, I've told this story a few times. When I went to the Cubs game and sat front row with Tom Ricketts, because of a connection I had, he asked me as an athlete, like, hey, why do you go to sporting events? And I said, hang out, drink, eat the food, spend a bunch of money, and enjoy the moment. And he goes, well, when do you watch baseball? Because I played baseball. I said, I watch baseball about the 8th inning, if the score's close. If not, we just continue drinking or enjoy our moment and taking pictures and telling jokes. And that's why you spend $200-$300 to go to games. I just spent $1,000 on 4 NFL tickets coming up in a month. I don't know why I did it. I don't, that money goes to them. But that time with my wife and my friends and everything will be well worth it.
Priceless. Right. It's priceless.
Yeah. I think that's the one thing, and since you're trying to grow the sport, you have that event, it's something that will grow it, especially as it gets bigger. And I don't know if that's something you want, but when you have a team challenge, that's where you can get a lot of people to participate. And it gives people a chance to kind of get an insight on you too. Like if you're going to have a team event and people can actually pay to get into it, you're also bringing other people into the sport. So is that your idea of not just specifically the JoPo Challenge, but just you growing the sport in general, where you have tournaments where you can get people to come in and just enjoy the sport of bowling, but have it at a competitive level where they can kind of they won't ever get a touch of what it's like to be on tour, but they get that competitive spirit or that competitive nature?
Yeah, it's the same reason I do my clinic, right? Like the clinic is, we grind for an hour and a half, 2 hours straight bowling, getting information from multiple pros, hearing multiple things on what you're doing right or wrong as a player. We take a break, we eat lunch, we do pictures, we do autographs, we do the merchandise, we do all that stuff. And then when we bowl our pro-am, we do 9-pin no tap because I want them to strike and I want them to have a good time. I don't want to see them bowling bad scores and whatnot. And the same thing with the JoPo Challenge was, we bowled on house shots for a reason, right? Like we don't want anybody walking out of there saying this was a terrible waste of money.
Okay.
Like I want them to say they got their money's worth. And we've been very fortunate with both events we've done with JoPo and most of the clinics we've done that they've got their money out of it, right? Like, same thing of why I go to this football game. If I'm gonna go spend $200-$300, I want to get my money out of that $200 or $300. And if you're going to go spend $200 or $300 with me at a Joe Pool event or a clinic and a pro-am, I want you to have fun. I want you to get all your things answered that you wanted answered, all the pictures and things that you wanted signed, and, leave there with a positive experience. And I'm sure there's been a few negative ones through the years. Those are unfortunate things that happen, but I can't make everybody happy. I know that for sure, because I've definitely pissed a lot of people off in my life. And I'm sure I will continue to do that. And that's okay, right? I am who I am. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I tell the truth. I don't think before I speak a lot because it's right there on my tongue that it just comes out. And, I have no regrets on anything I've ever done. And I've learned a lot from everything I've done, and we'll continue to learn and continue to make the game better.
Some would say that you're a man of virtue, right?
Yeah, there you go. It's funny that he mentions that, because when we did the first show, a lot of people were like, why would you do a show with him? And I go, you know what? I didn't understand him. I bowled against Sean in Illinois tournaments and everything like that. He's very intense. So before that show, I was like, he was very intense. And it was like, but after that show, and as we talked on that show, what I come to find out is a lot of stuff that he said was true. And I've actually messaged him this on Instagram. Like, a lot of stuff that he said is true. And he has to be a certain way because of what he goes against, the things that were going against him. So it's different. And Sean, you probably attest to this. The Chicagoland, Illinois bowling, that scene is toxic. That's one toxic bowling scene. So it's when you have that things going for you, you're gonna make people mad. And the one thing I told people after doing that show, I was like, nothing he said was wrong. Everything he said was absolute true. And then the one thing I told people that I respected was that he goes, you know what? I know I've made people mad. Some of the things that I've had happen to me is because of my own doing. I own up to it. That's what you don't get from most athletes. Most athletes, well, it's this, it's that. You literally said, you know what? Some of it was because of what I said and what I did. I have to own up to it.
Yeah. End of the day, right? My wife, my 3 kids, my mom, my dad, my in-laws, and everything else matter the most. There's less than 5 people on my hand that I think I can call right now and say, hey, I need your help. I need it now. I feel like when you're a little higher up in your career, like being the best in the world, everyone says they're there for you. But when you're struggling in life and there's a lot of negativity going around, whether it's in your profession or even within your family stuff, you don't really get the whole vibe from those people. So, again, I know I've said some things, doesn't go off well. It is what it is. Do I regret it? I can't regret anything you've done. Right? Like, it's kind of like being nervous. Everyone's like, oh, you don't look nervous. I'm nervous all the time. Right? Nervous of trying a way to throw a strike, nervous on a way to provide for my family, nervous on what's next. I'm nervous on this ball sale. Right? If this is a flop, I look like a joke. Right?
Right.
At the end of the day, it doesn't bother me, but because it still happened, right? I still got my ball.
Right.
I can still be proud of it. I can still be proud that I worked with somebody and made it happen. But I have to be somewhat positive in the fact that I think it's going to be successful, especially after hearing numbers of other bowlers in my generation that have made one in the last, 15 years. And would it have been better if I was still a better player? Probably. But I'm hopeful that all the people that I reach out to every year and the things that I've done and do, people will understand this ball is built for them, right? Like, this isn't just to make money, right? Like, we don't make money in our industry like we should. So, it is what it is.
It's a breath of fresh air. It's a breath of fresh air. It's as staff, with our staff, they were so excited because, one, we've all championed around you because, honestly, you've helped us elevate swag to a different level and change perception, right? I think that's been the biggest hurdle that we've had to do is change perception. And in turn, it's also, I like to think that, with making Decent Motions, with making this next 6 releases that came out have been the most exciting that we've seen for us, just because we've taken that next step, that another level, and the feedback that you've given, every single step of the way, the feedback you've given has helped us. It's helped our staff. It's helped everything. And it's that sync of partnership of just simply saying, hey, let's work on elevating this together. we'll help you, you'll help us, and we'll just kind of do different things.
Yeah, listen, I think again, every company makes good balls. Every company has balls you have to have, and every company has companies that just don't work. And is swag still missing a few pieces? Absolutely, right? Like I still don't see the big skid flip type motion. Um, I feel like mine's close in the benchmark area, right? Like it's stronger than the Craze Tour. It's not a ton down lane, but there's enough motion down there for even my rev rate. But we don't have the pearl yet. I say we, but like swag doesn't have that pearl. So when it sees friction, it just completely goes left. I feel like the Dragon Pearl was close. I even felt like the Judgment Hybrid was close. But and that's just that's just R&D and taking time, and the whole company has taken a new direction over the last couple of years, and they're trending in the right way. And there's a reason why Brunswick has been so successful in the last year or two on the PBA Tour, is they found something with that new cover stock, and they found something with something else. They also have a ton of players on their staff that help them, give them more ammo right on tour. Right. But they flopped Motive and Storm as the number one ball on the tour over the last 2 years, right? Correct. Motive won 8 times last year. Brunswick won 9 times this year. Storm hasn't won much at all in the last 2 years. Is it a combination of players being hurt? Probably. I was telling somebody the other day at the trade show, the injuries are coming, and they're coming out fast right now. Almost every single two-hander wears a heat pack around their back. Before, during, and after blocks. You put that much stress on a body, two-handed or one-handed. It's not just two-handers, it's one-handers also. And you got to be top-notch for 12 straight weeks. Like I told EJ a few years ago, I hope you never get hurt, because I'd love to see him break some records. Does he have some flaws? Absolutely. But is he a good person? 100%. One of the nicest guys I know. Is he intense? 100%. He's supposed to be. Because when you step on that lane, there ain't nobody else up there that wants you to strike more than your wife or your kid. So there's reasons why we have the love-hate relationship with people. So, it's so funny with everything that's going on within our industry and how things are changing. But, it'll work itself out. I keep telling everyone there's always negative things to think of. And I have my own issues at times, but I want to look at the good. There's a lot of good going on right now in my future, and hopefully in the sport. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I like that you put your stake on it too, because I'm on some of the Facebook pages that you're on, and people will say, I think it was just the other day, it was one that you were on. They were like, "Oh, those balls. Has anybody ever shot a scoreboard?" And you go, "Yeah, 879 with 3 different ones." And so you're staking that claim to it to say, you know what, like you said, every company has the bowling ball that you have to have right now. It's zero mercy. It seems like everybody that picks up one, they just strike for no reason. Everybody has that ball. And then you have companies, and every company has a ball that they thought should have been great. And it was just kind of like, nah, it's just not it. And it's just part of, that's anything, baseball bats, golf clubs, that's anything. You just have to go through that process. And there could be a ball that's a dud that Sean Rash can go out there and win 3 on the tour, and everybody else hate it. So that's just the nature of it.
Yeah. When I was on Brunswick staff, Smalls and Smalls was too. There was balls that he would love and I would love and not like. And Walter's one with multiple brands. Pete, I think, has one with 2 brands. Maybe it's all Storm. I'm not sure. I thought he might have won with a Hammer before he signed with Storm, but. Parker's all Brunswick. You look at the top 20 of all time. Realistically, everyone could win with any ball, right? There's a reason why they have 18 titles and more. Mm-hmm. They're good, right? They match up. They take advantage of opportunities. Barnes is one with multiple brands. Brunswick, Columbia. Storm, Global, Columbia. I think of different things, and just. Stuff happens, right? And I'm grateful for what I've done, and I'm hopeful for what I'll do.
I have one thing. If you're not okay with this, I want to say this. Can you give us a little bit about Jacob? Buttress. Can you give us a little bit about him? That was very sad and anything like that. Can you attest to the type of person that he was and type of bowler he was? I came across him because my son bowled in college and he was coaching then. Just wonderful individual. Can you give us a little insight into him and how great of a person he was?
Yeah, Jacob, I mean, definitely a hard one to think about over the last few weeks, right? Especially at 32 years old. I think back when I was 32, my life was really just starting. I just had my first kid, and just realistically married, and him and Maya just got together. They've been together a couple years. He left the West Coast to go to the East Coast to kind of change his life a little bit, some habits that he had, and we all have our vices and things that are bad, whether it's gambling or drinking or anything else, right? Those things are none of our business. Right, those vices. That's I think about it, it's all those athletes that have them. But just shocking more than anything. You worked a clinic with me in Portland, Maine. Well, not Portland, but a little bit north of Portland, right before the doubles. He was asked to work. He did something with me with the kids 2 years ago in Ohio for a high school team that I do stuff with every year. And just a genuine person, right? Like you think of all the pictures that he posted after losing. I mean, after I lose a TV show, the last thing I want to do is congratulate the guy that wins. At least right then. Like, I don't mind doing it a couple hours later at the bar when we're all hanging out, whatnot, or the next tour stop. Hey, congrats, running the ladder. Especially title matches. I mean, after my title match, we lost this. I don't want to talk to anybody. My wife doesn't want to talk to me. So, I just think of the good that he had in him, right? I don't care how many bad things we all have in us. He had a lot of good, different, unique, just carried himself well. And there's a few things the players want to do coming up over when we start the season, and I hope those things do happen. But end of the day, just a sad situation. 32, whole life in front of him. Life was getting ready to basically start for him. 8 titles. A lot of people were like, "Oh, he needs to go in the Hall of Fame." Like, let's grieve for a minute. Let's not worry about bowling right now. Let's grieve and remember how good of a person he was. And does he deserve to go in the Hall of Fame? His numbers are there. Absolutely. The guy was a great bowler. Did a lot of weird things with a weird release. Doesn't mean I'm still a fan of a lefty, but
hey, I'm a lefty. Stop that.
I know. Hey, he used his thumb.
I do too. So.
No, I'll miss the weird text messages I would get from him. Man, we talked a lot sporadically. Went to the casino a few times. We definitely had a few drinks together. Babysat him a few times on days that we both were struggling, mentally, physically, you name it. But just like I said, a great, genuine person. Hell of a competitor. He dominated a few events that just was dumb. One of the greatest moments was watching him shoot 300 with reactive. When I gave him that weird hug during COVID. Man, because he always got shit for never doing anything with reactive, right? He never won a title with reactive. If you look at a lot of the players on the left, Jesper doesn't have a title with reactive. Jacob didn't, and it's just different, I guess, on that side of the lane now. But when he shot 300 with the reactive ball, it was pretty remarkable.
Yeah, and I think you posted that right after everything happened. That's what made me think about it, and some of the pictures that you had posted with him. And I just wanted, to get your thought process on that, because obviously you guys were at Brunswick together, I believe, right? You were in that set, and I know you probably was with him a lot. So for the people who don't get to see how great that person was, I just wanted to give it to it, get your perspective.
Yeah, the people that got, what you see on TV is a different person, right? I know I'm a different person off of television, and because again, it's our individual job,
Right.
and we
That's how you
have
feed
to
your
come
family.
off. Yeah, we have to come off arrogant. We have to come off cocky. We have to come off confident. We come off all the ways that you're not supposed to come off. So, um, you know, again, just sad deal.
Yeah.
There's never a good time for anybody to pass away, but this one really, it definitely hit the, it happened while we were bowling the Lucy but no doubles. And,
Right.
Man, talk about a somber Friday, Saturday at the Lucy and Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. All right. So now you got your stuff going on overseas. You're going to come back. You're going to bowl here. All right. You got to come back eventually and tell us what the ball sales did. Who shot the first 300
no, that's private. I don't even know how they're going to do, right? Again, we'll just figure it out. The goal is to help Swag continue to make a name for themselves. If we sell 500 of them, we sell 50,000 of them. It's good for both of us, right? So, just really excited about the opportunity, like I said, and hopefully it does well enough they'll want to do another one.
Absolutely. I think you're going to get that 500. I think if that's the goal that you set, I think you're going to get it, especially
if it doesn't sell 500, we flopped. That's just my opinion, but I think we'll do okay based off the numbers I've heard.
Pretty comfortable, and I think
I think you'll get there.
Hey, and also it'll be fun to kind of see is I'm pretty sure showing up at your door probably is a thing called an executioner, and an unknown should be arriving soon. Where we'd love to see those things go down the lane too.
Yeah, I heard they just made it here last week or the week before. Probably when I get home from Korea, I'll have them in the States, but I'm sure I'll probably drill those two. I'll probably drill them in Korea.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the best way to do it is just get them right straight from the factory.
Yeah, I'll just call Jake and say, hey, have these ready. So.
Yeah, I feel like there's going to be a lot of scores with the executioner and that one. I think it's going to be a lot of scores. And if yours is in between the Insanities and a little bit more than Craze Hybrid Tour, Craze Tour Solid, I think you're
that's in a good spot
too. Yeah, that's a great spot. That's a really good spot because right now I literally just drilled my Insanity Pro yesterday, and I drilled it different, a little bit stronger. And the hybrid one, it does have some teeth to it. I noticed that in the mid lane, it's very quick. Now I am on the left side, so mine's going to hold a little bit more, but it does have some teeth. But honestly, I think the Pro might have a little more backing into it, just the way I had it drilled up. It definitely carries. But if you're gonna have your virtue in that area, I bowl my Craze to a solid till the white has come off of it.
It's good.
It's almost a label on it. So if it's going to be in there, I think you're going to have it. I think the staffers, just the Swag staffers, are going to purchase it just off that alone because there's a lot of staffers that love that in that area. So I think you're going to be your target.
I'll be all right. Listen, I'm happy, excited, I'm stoked, just grateful for the people that helped make it possible. They know who they are, and we'll see what happens.
Nice. Well, Sean, first of all, thank you for taking time out with us on a Saturday.
Absolutely.
Obviously this is a big moment for you, letting us have a little sneak peek into it. Obviously the staff will get a chance to see this tomorrow as we release it. But thank you for your time. One, thank you for making the ball. Thank you for everything that you do for Swag, and letting us have the inside story on it. We really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'll be doing a few more of these over the next couple of days, and I'm excited to give them the same info. But man, I'm just forever, like I said, I'm excited. I think it's time to go have a drink and celebrate with the family and the friends and enjoy. Looks like we finally have some sun here. It's been raining nonstop.
Oh my God.
Time to get outside. I hope you all have a blessed weekend.
Yeah. Where are you going to go? What's the place out there that you're going to go to?
About 20 feet into my driveway in a chair.
Perfect.
Yes,
all
sir.
right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end our
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Let me go ahead and end that recording.